Hey, everybody, and welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Sal.
And this is the show where we take the books from last week that came out and we chat about them, let you know what we thought about them, and then at the end, we recommend some books for you to pick up this Tuesday and Wednesday.
That's right.
I did it.
You did it. Flawless victory. We also want to mention that, of course, this show is sponsored by you. If you're watching the show live, you can support us by using Super Chats. And ask a question or comment. We'll read it here on the show. And if you don't have any scratch, no big deal. Best way to support the show, subscribe and give the video a like if you feel inclined to do so. So let's jump into it. There's a bunch of books that came out this week.
Yeah.
Not as many as most weeks.
No, there were a lot of books.
There were
just a lot of books that we haven't been jumping into necessarily. There were a lot and there weren't a lot. I don't know.
It's true. Like, for example, let me give you a couple of books that I did not read that I meant to or recommended last week. Fantastic Four 35, Joker number 7, Rorschach 12, Batman number Legends number 7.
You weren't going to read Rorschach 12. No, you said
I was going to read all of Rorschach.
Yeah, but that sounds like you're picking up. You're trade weighted.
I was really trade weighting.
But
I did read Supergirl 3, and it's excellent as usual.
I told you.
Isn't
that good?
Of course. I mean, yeah. And Supergirl 4, I'm sure will be even better. And then it'll be halfway over because it's only 8 issues because DC does not believe in Supergirl. I also, however, did read, and I guess we can talk about this, Justice League number 67.
Okay.
Did I read this?
I don't know.
I don't remember liking it.
Did you?
Yes, I did read this.
Tell me if you read this.
Yeah, this was weird. Justice League number 67 from Brian Michael Bendis and Philip Hester, which I know Phil Hester's work mostly from his time with Kevin Smith on Green Arrow. Green Arrow and Black Canary do appear in this book, so it was kind of fun, a little bit of a welcome back for us.
Mm-hmm.
And the book looks really good, and the story is meh. I don't read Justice League anymore, and there's a good reason for it, and it's just because I just can't be bothered. I can't find the care in my heart for this team, for this grouping. I mean, it's a classic team, and yet, right? And of course, there's a lot of like Bendis's stuff in there. The United Order of Planets, he was really big on that, and being important to John. And ultimately, they have to fight this Rogolzar-esque character. I think that has created at least 2 or 3 Rogolzar-esque characters. But this guy shows up and he's wrecking everything. And Batman's like, you got to use the Phantom Zone Projector, Superman. You got to use that. And Superman's, you can't just Phantom Zone all your problems away. Which I think is hilarious because not only have we talked about this on the couch on a number of occasions, the idea that like Batman would kill for an opportunity for the Phantom Zone Projector, just be like, okay, Arkham Asylum, Flash.
Yeah, you're just in there.
Goodbye.
You're not getting back
just
out.
Joker, Flash. But instead, Batman steals the Phantom Zone Projector and uses it on this character. And then the United Order of Planets, which is headed up by a new Thanagarian who is indistinguishable from Carter, goes, we're going to take that Phantom Zone Projector. And Superman's just like, no, you're not. And then that's the end of it.
So do they fight Deathstroke?
I don't know. I don't remember him in it. If he is in it, I don't remember it.
I gotta say, like, it's really funny seeing the back of his head and realizing there's a little slot where those tassels come out.
They got it.
Those like ribbon things.
Yeah, because otherwise they might bunch up and cover the one good eye.
I'm just saying, like, it's just funny to see that. Like, it's just like, doot.
Yeah. I am sad to tell you, of course, that like if you wanted to read Justice League Dark, it's also in this book.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But at least it's out.
I may have to wait till it's completed because you've been spottily picking this up.
Oh yeah, no.
And so I haven't been getting my Justice League Dark fix, and I have a hard time if I'm not reading the main part of the book justifying $5 for only a few pages.
It ain't worth $5 for just a sampling, a smattering,
which sucks
of a story. It's just
sucks.
not. It's really.
But I would like to because I like that group.
Yeah.
I like the creative team.
Yeah. The Justice League Dark creative team.
Yes,
team.
that creative team.
Yeah.
Yes, them. With the smaller percentage of page real estate in that book.
Absolutely. Really quick, Brian Rollins jumps in to say, can't wait for theories on what the hell's going on in Trial of Magneto. Thanks for the great videos every week. Thank you, Brian, for being here.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. But I'm also looking forward to hearing what you think about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure later on.
Sure. Just some guy with a mustache. Evangelion 3 plus 1.01 thoughts. Also, that Star Wars anime thing, will we be able to bring Sal to our side with this one? Tiffany.
Okay, so let's talk about Evangelion and the fact that I didn't watch any of the
new stuff.
I didn't.
You've only watched the original show.
I only watched the original show and anything pertaining to that. And I have my reasons.
And you've seen new stuff. Like, it's not like you have been in a vacuum. Like
No,
you're aware of the
I know
one
it
that
exists, and I actually own them.
you do. Yeah, they've been gifted to you.
I just, you know what it was? I actually put them on my wish list, and it was given to me by friends of ours, and I realized that I'm just not at a point in my life that I'm ready to watch it, because the fact is, for me, the story ended there, and I know creator is like was in a different place, and now he's in a different headspace now, and it wants to put a different spin on the story and
Right.
can make it work in terms of the story. But I'm like, you know what? It's okay. You were at that period of your life, and maybe it wasn't the happiest of your life, but like,
It happened.
you know what? Like, that's artists. That's why artists have periods.
Yeah, like make a new thing then if you don't like
You know,
what
like that
thought process
that
you were
art's
in.
out there.
Yeah.
And like it can be raw and hurtful, or like, you know, whatever, bring up bad memories, but like that's how you created it, was in that moment.
Yeah.
It's okay for it to exist as it is. And I appreciate he didn't make it go away.
No, he didn't
Like I very much appreciate that. Like did not
he
just
didn't
go
full
like
George Lucas and like
yeah,
I taped over it.
Yeah, it doesn't go, it didn't happen. It happened, but also I'm gonna do this version of it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I'm not ready. Not ready. Star Wars anime thing.
Oh, Star Wars Visions or Visionaries or something like that.
Is
yeah, that's if you're not familiar, it's going to Disney Plus. It is the idea is that basically Disney licensed the universe to a number of different studios. They all had their own little 10 to 13 minute long spins.
Tiny vignettes.
Yes.
That are slated somewhere within the grand Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Or versions thereof. I think it's going to be, my social reaction would be that it's great.
Yes, right? Yeah, socially speaking.
Social reaction to that, I'm hyped.
Yeah, all I can say is I can't legally review it until tomorrow. That's all I can say.
That's what we can say about that.
But I can say that based on the trailer, and were I to tweet anything, I might say that at least the first 2 episodes are friggin' awesome.
Yes. Yes.
If I were to say, if I were tweeting about it.
If I were tweeting about it, socially speaking.
Right.
Excitement.
Of course,
I'm not.
I am embargoed from reviewing it, and so I won't.
There's no review here.
None.
Just
enthusiasm.
Hype.
Yeah.
Hype. Are you on the hype train?
Right?
That's the question.
The answer is yes. Six says, catching you guys live for the first time in a while. Also, Shang Chi on back issues. Would love to see you guys do Jean Lewin Yang's run. Yeah, I would love to do that Shang Chi versus the Marvel Universe book. And when I say I mean you. And also, because Shang-Chi's been in development for a long time, and I remember them announcing it years ago. Somebody sent us an essential omnibus. I think it was a big thing of the deadly hands of Shang-Chi. And I would love to have done that, but the time has passed.
Yes, but this book is great. Honestly,
yeah,
it honestly is, and I can actually talk about it because I went back and I read the issue.
Oh, great.
But I want to address something that someone was like, the new Evangelion is a sequel. I'm like, technically it is a sequel, but it's really sort of a C-boot.
Yeah,
because as he has gone on record saying, it's like he's just in a new place,
right?
And he wishes he could do it again.
Yeah,
and so he just is.
So that's basically like a reboot, but
it is technically
right, because of the ending of the first show. You can say that there's more, but
it's just a chance to do it again,
or a sequel reboot, also known as a C-boot, or a sequel reboot C-boot, a soft sequel reboot C-boot. So Dex Baker also says, I can't wait. I can't watch. I'm visiting Orlando.
Nice.
Catch you guys in the replay. Well, stay safe and thanks a lot.
Stay safe out there.
Have fun at the new Epcot restaurant. You know the one.
Yeah.
The line for that was, I guess, insane. Pun intended, sick. Because of how many people are packed together. Dan V900, you missed nothing from skipping Rorschach until the trade. I didn't see the point of the series having finished it. It was really weird that Frank Miller and Steve Ditko were in it as characters. That's something that King likes to do. He likes to put characters in his books that are representations or just straight up one-to-ones of people who are influences on his life.
A lot of creators like to do that. It's just it's their little circle of friends kind of thing. You know, they're just, paying homage to one another. Yeah. I think it's sweet.
Yeah. Infinite Jedi from Ta-Nehisi Coates to the new writer. I don't think I've enjoyed Black Panther more. Here's hoping the Intergalactic Empire does not get removed. Yeah, well, we'll see.
Right. To clarify, I have seen End of Evangelion.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, anything pertaining to the first series,
you've seen.
I've seen
multiple times.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, if you want a real depressing ending, I'm like, oh no,
yeah,
that's my favorite.
I know.
That's why I like it.
Right.
Because I have this part of me that's like, yes. Let's be sad together. Or alone. That's fine too.
Raj Patel, I'm not sure if Tiffany has heard this, but Ram V is leaving both Catwoman and Dark due to the birth of his child, but we'll be getting season 2 of The Swamp Thing.
I get that. Listen, you got like
which probably means that Justice League Dark is dead. Because it was originally Tynan's, which actually would have just been killed because of his bridge burning departure at DC. But
damn these creative people.
Yeah, going off and doing their own thing.
And their creativity.
Whether it's being given stacks of money by tech companies that won't be here in 2 years, or by people having children. I would love a Substack of cash. So, yeah. I guess we'll talk about this because I'm going to talk about it briefly.
Wait, what was the other part of that? Oh, yeah, the Catwoman thing. I hadn't really been reading his Catwoman. Just because I haven't been reading any of that, but I don't know. You know what it is for me and Ram V? I'm like, it's supernatural.
Yes.
And I don't think they're supernatural in that, which I don't blame him for wanting to dabble in something else.
Yeah.
At all. You can only write so much supernatural.
Yeah. Well, Ram isn't dabbling in anything. He's just raising a kid.
No. I mean, like wanting to do Catwoman.
Oh,
like he's doing Justice League.
Yeah, that's a nice
Swamp Thing. Catwoman.
And Catwoman, which is like decidedly not.
I think he's also working on some other projects as well. But I could imagine. I think Swamp Thing for him is like a project he's really wanted to work on. So hanging on to that, I'm happy that we're going forward with that.
Yeah. Batman 89. We weren't really high on this book. I certainly wasn't. Number 2,
week?
Yes,
okay.
From Sam Hamm and Quinones. I continue to love the kind of throwback designs and fun art that you see in this. You get to see Robin in this, and it's Black Robin. I believe it's Tim Drake in this universe, which of course kind of holds up because Tim Drake was created around the time they probably would have made like Robin in Batman Returns, which is when this should take place, despite it being called Batman 89. And despite the fact that like Bruce is a tad bit older in this universe than he is in Batman 89, he has gray in the temples and stuff. I don't know. They give it reads really well. I will say that I like the.
But you weren't a huge fan of the first issue.
I was not. I'm just saying that like the dialogue is still good because it's written as a script.
Right.
The art is fun. The designs I think are better than the execution. But I get it. Batman, it feels responsible for the death of a petty criminal, and so his resolve is shaken. Meanwhile, Batman and Harvey are investigating the identity of Batman. Meanwhile, Harvey is split in half, no pun intended, because he's got like the primarily black section of Gotham that feels disenchanted with Gotham and with Harvey. And you've got like the kind of like rich hoity-toity politician Harvey, who's like rubbing elbows with Whitey, and you'll see him like basically find his identity when he actually represents his people, which I think is kind of like a neat exploration of the character. Also, the fact that Robin is being developed separately, it's kind of a fun idea. Like that he is rising from this feeling of unrest, civilly speaking. Meanwhile, Batman was rescued by a giant penny in issue 1. He's having it delivered to the Batcave in issue 2. He's getting the penny.
Delivered by who?
Well, workers. They're delivering it to Wayne Manor. It'll be Alfred's job to get it down in the cave.
What are they just saying that Bruce Wayne is a big
collector of random crap?
Yeah, but like I feel like people of Gotham would know that he has the penny. What if they like reporters want to go like, oh, I want to see the penny?
Sure, Alfred, go get it. I will say there is some repetition in here, and I don't know if it's like a script writing thing or not, but like Tim Drake, when he encounters people who are affluent or politically like above him, Harvey, Bruce, and he overhears them, he says, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he says it twice in this issue. And if the issue weren't so short, it maybe wouldn't have been so glaring, but it was just kind of one of those things where I was like, and then Catwoman shows up. And they changed her costume, unfortunately.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know why.
It's like 2 halves of a costume.
Yep. They want it to be like a blending of the 90s purple Catwoman suit and the 90s Returns Catwoman suit. And
like a belt.
Yeah. I'm not wild about it. That's the second Catwoman suit I've seen this year that I'm not wild about in comics. It's
You know why you're probably not wild about it is because the top half of it is just the costume from the movie.
yeah, it's because it's two different freaking costumes slapped together.
Yeah, it's not like they altered that as well. Like if they'd altered everything, maybe you would have been.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do like the idea that they're finally like kind of bridging these worlds as opposed to just kind of being like, here's Batman 89 again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Selena, great, cool. Also, now that Harvey's finally reconciled the two halves of himself, he is caught in a warehouse fire, and the gasoline is coming for his face.
Okay.
This will be hopefully happening. There's 6 friggin' issues. We'll be halfway done with the book before he gets to be Two-Face. Let's move along.
Yeah.
Let's get it done here, shall we?
Okay.
So, Batman 89. I liked it better than 1, but I needed 1 to get here. Plus, I like the art in the designs. J. Joseph Frazier, Sal, I love your impressions. My new favorite is Mephisto worshipping Rogue. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. What is he talking about? Go watch back issues on Mephisto versus the Marvel Universe.
Ooh.
Dan V, Doug, Primordial and Eternals, Thanos Rises, but prefers Thanos Rises.
I read it. You want me to talk about it?
I would love for you to talk about that because I was hoping that you caught it.
Yeah.
When it dropped.
It dropped last week.
Yes, it did.
And don't worry, I'm not desperately trying to open up Comixology right now.
Oh, good.
Because that would be silly that I wasn't prepared.
I agree.
Eternal Thanos Rises came out this past week. It's a number 1.
Yep.
Of I think 1.
Right. There's no other numerical designation anywhere near it, so maybe it's meant to be an ongoing, maybe not.
I don't know. So it's written by Kieran Gillen with art by Dustin Weaver.
Yeah, how is the art? I know that obviously
I dig it because here's the thing. What did you think this book was going to be about?
I don't know how the last book ended, so my guess would be that it would be about Thanos, though.
It is about Thanos. It is definitely about Thanos.
Okay. Yeah.
You would have thought that it was literally going to just continue, like how they're handling Way of X transitioning.
Yes.
No. Thanos Rising is about where Thanos came from.
Oh, it's like a flashback book.
Not really about him. It's about everything surrounding him. The events that surrounded to the birth of Thanos.
Okay. So it's about like his brother and his father and...
No, it's his brother is mentioned in name alone.
Okay.
It's about his father, his mother, his uncle.
Okay.
Who's Zuras.
Right.
And the war they were having and the reasons for the war and who was on what side of the war and all of that.
That's cool.
That's what this is about. And it's a great read. I really enjoy Eternals.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
The first volume.
Yes. I truly believe that Eternals, the Kieran Gillen Eternals run will read better as a trade now that it's over. You can grab that.
That trade is available now.
Yeah. And I think it's a better trade read than an individual issue read because it's a lot and I think it flows better in terms of having that trade in your hand, right?
Totally.
This I didn't think I was going to be that interested in, especially as I started figuring out what it was going to be about. And I was kind of captivated by the in the way that the story unfolded. I'm tired. But overall, you get a really good feel for not only the Eternals and their stance on Thanos.
Right.
But also Thanos's opinion of the Eternals. Not that we don't already have an idea of that kind of both ways, but it just gives you a really truncated version of some history. And I'm wondering if it doesn't honestly indicate how they're going to handle things in the MCU. Because there's something that happens here that I was like, oh, right. They do have this one thing that they could be utilized to make you question certain things or, I don't want to give it away for anybody who hasn't read this because seemingly it is just a single issue. And I don't want to wreck it for you. It's just a really good read. The art is completely different than Ribic, right? I loved Ribic for Eternals. I really like Weaver for this because he does the kind of retro look.
Yeah.
It's not quite Kirby at all. Yeah, it just says the end. Yeah. I was pretty sure that it's
you think it's one shot?
It's a one shot. It just says the end.
Oh my
God.
God.
This is the story. The art's gorgeous, like I said, does a really good job of drawing a lot of these older costumes, but not making it look too homage-y.
Sure.
I like homages and I think they can be handled really well, but there was something about this that made me feel like it was historical without feeling outdated.
Agreed.
Not that I don't enjoy older art.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to see this really perfect blend. It's sort of a sad story. And honestly, kind of makes Thanos even, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Thanos after this.
Okay.
Right?
I like
Check it out. That's all I can say. I'm
That's
like,
cool.
I'm trying to say anything else without like
right.
revealing too much about
the writing, solid, characters consistent,
Mhm.
art consistent with the theme and with the tone.
Yeah, thank you for giving me my own review.
I'm just telling you, like these are the checkbox.
Yeah. No, it was surprising. I really didn't think this was the one I was gonna like.
Cool.
I thought I was gonna have to read this one just so I knew what happened to get to the next thing.
But this might be the only thing.
Kind of no, there's another thing coming out.
Oh,
there's another thing coming out.
Is it Eternals subheading?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's another Eternals book, and that's coming out. And honestly, like this was the one that I was like, I'll read it, but I'm probably not gonna like it. And I really, really enjoyed it. It just caught me off guard.
That's really cool.
See, that's what's next.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Neat.
So if you were kind of on the fence about Gillen's Eternals, you could literally pick this up and it'd be fine. You can read Thanos because it does tie in because it's giving you information, but you don't really have to know everything that came before it to understand this issue.
Sure.
So you could, if you're just like, I just want to read a little bit more about Eternals and Thanos, get some more history.
Nice.
This could be for you. There you go. That's all I got.
Sweet. New type JB Lee. Speaking of Spidey, I would pick Kelly Thompson writing Peter in ASM. Keep Saladin on Miles because a female writer and a person of color being in charge of Spider-Man books is cool and interesting. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, honestly, like whoever's writing Miles right now, I believe it is Saladin Ahmed is doing a great job and kind of putting him in a new direction or a more autonomous direction. Great idea. And it's about time that we get somebody that is a female writing any amazing Spider-Man book. I think the last female writer I remember writing any Spider-Man was like Ann Nesenti, and that was a long, long time ago.
Yes. I was trying to remember if it was her or Louise Simonson. I don't know why I wanted to put Simonson on a book, but I don't think she ever did.
I don't think so.
Ever.
Carl Maxey. I think the MCU should cast Keanu Reeves and Nick Cage as the one above all and Mephisto. Just show up once in a while. That'd be kind of fun.
Nick Cage as Mephisto would be really funny.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Scratching at the door.
Agreed.
He could scratch at the door.
He could scratch at the door. He has the consistency. Denial. I have a question. Has Strange done anything since he confronted Mephisto about Peter's soul? Was something supposed to happen with that? Was it cut? No, it was actually referenced in the most recent issue of Amazing Spider-Man. So read that and you will see 2 pages or fewer where they refer to that, and it will be paid off in the next issue.
I like or fewer.
Yeah, I think it's either 1 or 2 pages. Adam Thenhaw says, them lights you must keep. Grogu, probably. Them lights on you must keep. I guess that's in refer to...
yeah, because he's keeping the lights on for us. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Yes. Love it.
What was it? Dan V back to say Eternals Thanos Rises a one-shot, just FYI. We did say that. David Brayolt says, hey Tiff, how'd you like the Bat Family Adventures webtoon? Both of you, Gotham Radio thoughts. I have not listened to the radio show yet, but I do have a link to it, and I listened to a minute of it, and I was like, hey, the production value is good. Nice.
That's great. And the webtoons, I haven't read it. Is it out?
Yes.
I haven't read it.
I read the first one.
But I thought the concept of it was such a good idea that I had pitched it someplace else.
Yes, you pitched it to a publisher who took it under advisement.
Yes.
And then a bigger publisher did it, and then another publisher did it.
So...
before the publisher that you pitched it to
I think
years ago.
I hope it's going well, and I look forward to checking it out.
It's a good idea. Great way to expand the brand.
Yes.
If you have a brand or you're in charge of some IPs, might one recommend breaking out of your traditional wheelhouse and experimenting, particularly if you have a bunch of characters that like don't sell very well or might need some kind of exposure. Listen,
there's a lot of
options.
Yes, but there's also a lot of inner workings to companies. So
this is true.
It can't always work like that.
It can't always work like that. You're absolutely right. Kali Frederick says, liked Fantastic Four Life Story 4, also found Trial of Magneto very getting odd. Yeah, I have not read Life Story yet. I just didn't get a chance to. Carl Maxey says, Sound Tiffany, what comic characters would you want to see team up in a short run that you never see team up? I want Ghost Rider, Daredevil, and Nightcrawler to team up. That'd be fun. All hell-based characters of some kind. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. That'd be kind of fun. As far as that's concerned, I mean, I just want to see a Marvel team-up book come back and then just give it to a bunch of really cool creators, you know? Maybe kick it off with somebody like Kelly Thompson who knows the universes and, you know, could maybe launch it with Deadpool and then just go from there.
That you never see team up. I don't know. I got nothing there.
That's fair.
Most of the like Doctor Strange teams up with everybody.
Yeah,
like
no, he's in every other book, so
he, he loves to team up. He's just a real team player.
Yeah, maybe Ghost Rider and Cap. Yeah, because they both ride motorcycles.
We've done that before. They've done that.
Where?
In Ghost Rider at one point. Yeah, kind of.
30 years ago, though.
Wow. Anyway, I was like Ghost Rider and someone.
Yeah. Lulacost says, or Lullacost says, never get to see you guys live. Spent a week watching past Batman back issues. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Lullacost. Yeah, we created a Batman Day playlist for every
really
episode
smart.
of back issues. Thanks. Carl back to say, can Marvel retcon Kyle Rayner's girlfriend dying? Give her some respect. I doubt. Marvel doesn't own Kyle Rayner. That's a DC situation. And I don't think they're going to do that, but they should at this point. Why not? And just make her a superhero because literally everybody in the universe is a superhero. New type JB Lee on Vincenti. How come her Daredevil run is not collected much and celebrated like Miller, Bendis, and Wade? Isn't that odd? I mean, Chip is a fan of her run. Yeah, it's collected. I have all the trades of Vincenti's run. It's collected, and like it's not so much celebrated by publishers. Publishers celebrate sales. Vincenti's run sold well enough, but didn't like blow the doors off. So publishers like to promote books that sell very well. And that's the only reason. It's not personal. It is personal. It gets personal because they choose not to do certain runs. But it's all about sales. Thick Grayson, great name, says, hey guys, love the channel. Are we hyped for the death of Doctor Strange? I am, and Nightwing 84 as well. We'll talk about that at the pitch
We absolutely will.
And Abe Sapien, hey guys, just wanted to say thank you for reintroducing me to 90s X-Men. That I was able to meet the voice actor for Gambit at a recent con.
That's great.
I hope he sounds cool. Like jealous. I hope he busted some Cajun for you.
I hope so too.
That'd be great.
Yes.
What else did you read?
I read Marauders.
Marauders. Of course, it wouldn't be a weekday without an X-Men book.
Marauders number 24 came out.
From the new architect of the Hickman era of X-Men, Jerry Duggan.
Yeah, it's by Jerry Duggan with art by Phil Noto.
Well, that sounds awesome.
This issue was great.
Looking and feeling?
It
was great.
It was.
Yay.
It was great. Period. End review. No.
Going on the trade. It was great.
It was great. This issue introduces a character. That's really just in it this issue, but I'm sure we'll see them again because they do something at the end that's revenge worthy.
Cool.
This character is a result of knowing that you have complete backing of your parent company to throw in a Star Wars-esque character. Just
because you know you're not going to get sued.
We're steps away from having it be Dash Rendar or Han Solo.
Wow. Well, the issue does suggest that there are space pirates in this.
Yes. No, it definitely does, based on, I guess, the cover or the
inside.
The inside. Yeah. So, a random individual shadowy figure arrives on Araco, Mars, right?
Right.
And because I keep reminding myself that it's a planet.
Yeah.
It's a planet now.
Right.
It's the capital of our solar system.
Of
Sol.
The Milky Way.
And they are demanding to be able to land, but they don't have the right to do so.
They don't have the clearance codes.
They don't have that. They get shot down and they land on what looks like a Bespin-esque platform.
Wow.
And they have a bit of a firefight and they reveal themselves, and it's this one-shouldered, becaped guy with a blaster of some sort.
Yep.
Who's demanding to see the White Queen of Mutantdom.
Well, it looks like Lando.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
So Marauders go planet side to go deal with a couple of things. But Kitty and Emma break off from the group. Kitty uses her powers to steal blasters or space guns because they won't sell them to Earthers. So she just kind of goes through the back of the stall and takes them.
Fair.
Emma's like sporting a striking outfit. I just want to point that out. I just really liked what they decided to do with her this time around. I liked it a lot. They go to a cantina. Sebastian Shaw is there. They greet him. And that's when they run into Eden Rixlow.
Okay.
Now, Eden Rixlow, probably not his actual name. Probably Dean Lorix. That's also probably not his real. He's got
a bunch of aliases.
He's got many an alias. No one actually knows what his real name is.
Okay.
He was drafted into the Nova Corps because he had specific set of skills.
Okay.
During a time that they were low on numbers.
Mm-hmm.
He was good at what he did. He was taking jobs for them, but also taking other jobs he probably shouldn't have been. And it was becoming difficult to tell what was real jobs and what was side hustle.
Right.
Someone from the Corps later on would mention that, listen, we are like, he's to blame for what he did and should face his crimes, but we also put him in that position,
right?
Because we weren't really taking care of the Corps and we weren't really paying them and like
just giving them helmets and sending them out.
Yeah, like payment was late a lot. Like I get it, like they're just trying to make their way.
Yeah,
but that's also like this guy's also this guy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
They have the scene from the cantina where he's sitting in a booth. They come up to him. He's clearly got a blaster. Kitty has a blaster. You figure a who shot first kind of thing is going to happen. Emma excuses him from the conversation. Here's how it breaks down: is that they needed a ship in order to help with creating
Araco,
in order to like make it like habitable.
Okay.
I think that's what they're indicating here. Emma ended up utilizing this gentleman for his services. She borrowed a ship because the ship is controlled like telepathically.
Oh, okay.
She's like, how could you like think I was gonna not like that I was gonna let this go once I found out that this ship could run through, like,
mind powers.
Yeah, like what? And so she wiped his mind and stole his ship. So she's like, that was part of the deal, that I would wipe your mind. That way you didn't have to sign an NDA.
Ah.
So she's like, there's no way in our agreement I said you could have my ship. She's like, all right, technically, yes, true. They end up having a fight. He tries to shoot her.
Mm-hmm.
She turns to Diamond.
Yes.
He's like,
oh, you have two powers.
Cool.
She's like, yeah, there was this weird period where we had two mutations.
Yeah, and then like Kitty just punches him in the face.
Okay.
There's a bar brawl style thing. Sebastian Shaw steps in to help as he basically tosses out a thermal detonator. He calls it a detonator. It's a round ball.
Yeah. He's holding a thermal detonator.
Yeah. Shaw takes it and just takes the energy and absorbs it. So it's all good. They end up paying him off in their newly formed currency.
Right.
She also pays him off for the ship.
Yes.
Because she wants to keep it.
She wants to keep it. Mm-hmm.
He's like, fine, can you drop me home or like to my next stop? They're like, yeah, why not?
Sure.
They have a dinner a la Bespin.
Uh-huh.
He gets up for a moment and he's like, this whole deal actually really worked out for me because not only did I get the money, but I'm going to keep my ship and I have you guys on it. So that really works out. He exits the doors there. They slide shut and he just opens the room and sucks them all out into space.
So they die?
We don't know. I mean, if they do, it doesn't matter.
Right, but but they gotta start from square one.
Yep. She tries to Diamond as she's
being sucked out. Yeah. I don't think she needs to breathe if she's I don't know.
But they all get sucked out, and then we cut down to the X-Men on Earth in New York.
Yeah.
And Lord Chantel shows back up.
Oh, I kind of remember that person.
The like love interest of Sebastian Shaw.
Yes.
When he finds out that she didn't actually die, that it was all a ruse because she couldn't be with him anymore because he was abusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's back.
Cool.
Lots of folk coming back.
Yeah.
Lots of folk coming back.
Well, now that there's never going to be like a phase 2 for the Dawn of X.
Well, they had already intruded her before, so like that.
I'm just saying, like since they're extending the first section of Hickman's plan, why the hell not?
But this was great, and honestly, Phil Noto was a welcome addition to this
totally,
book.
Yeah.
Not that the book was suffering art-wise, but it was just like I was like, oh, this is just a nice shift.
Yeah.
Because he was on cable, and I don't think he's on the new cable.
No, and he used to be on New Mutants as well.
Was he?
Yeah, he drew the good part.
Yeah, but he was on that Young Cable book, and that wrapped.
Yeah. So
I'm hoping they just kind of scooped him up for this. Really, really enjoyed it quite a bit. While I'm here, can I talk about a book from a couple weeks ago, just really quickly? I just want everybody to know I caught up on Hellions.
Yay! Why? Why would you need to?
I wanted to, and I didn't want to read this because it's so sad because this book will end.
Yeah.
I think it's going to 18. I think that's what it is. I think we have 3 more issues to come. because Zeb Wells is off of this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it makes sense. He's going to Spider-Man.
Yes.
So it was written by Zeb Wells, with art by Roger Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
This is an old review. I just want you to know I did read Hellions number 15. It's great. Don't forget Tarn and his Locust Vial were there. They're the guys from Amenth.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a really successful version of Sinister in terms of being able to utilize genetics. And Tarn actually created Chimera.
Right. Oh, so he stole that idea.
And Sinister stole all of the knowledge and the genetic code and has unraveled it.
Okay.
And in the last issue, we discovered that like he knew what Chimera were. We are about to be shown them when basically Tarn and Psylocke have a conversation, and she's like, "I'll give you his location, but you have to let us go because they're all going to die." And so he's like, "No, that's fine." So he does that. They go off. They have on Tarn's team. There's that big guy. He's like the amino fetus.
Okay, I remember you talking about
right.
That
he's not allowed to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So they give us like a breakdown of why.
Okay.
Because like he has like the damnation cycle.
What does that mean?
So there's the abominable germ, then the accursed embryo, and then the amino fetus who will eat and swell until the atrocious infants arrive.
Okay.
And then either it's the end of all things or he must be returned to the darkness to be reconceived.
Okay.
And I'm like,
gross. Everything about that is horrible.
You rolling this out now, issue 15, Zeb Wells, and you're going to be leaving?
Right.
Okay, fine. We do get to see the last stage in this issue. Grey Crow and the rest of the team find out that Psylocke has known everything from the get-go because when she tells Tarn where Sinister is, they're like, we blew that facility up. She's like, no, he made you think that we did because blah, blah, blah. Like, you know? And she's like, they're like, and you knew this why?
Yeah.
Like, because he has my daughter. And the fact is, it's not that he has her daughter. He has the only copy of her daughter's. Like Cerebro has nothing.
Right.
So if he deletes it,
that's it. She's gone.
I was like, oh, okay, that makes all right. Putting it all together, right?
Yeah.
Needless to say, the atrocious infants
are born.
Are just that.
Yes.
They're horrible. That's how we get Tarn away. Tarn shows up, sees the two Sinisters. He's with one of his other people who are like, we gotta go back.
Yeah.
And he's giving them a hard time. And eventually they're like, yo, it ate.
Right. So it's making those
because
things.
Grey Crow made it because he was so mad. So he leaves. He's like, I'll be back for my vengeance.
Okay.
We'll never see that.
No.
But we do see that like Sinister's like, fine, this is all good because it doesn't matter because I did it. I made a Chimera.
Okay. I've established that I'm going to be able to do that.
He's like, I made my first Chimera. And his Chimera is Mr. Sinister and Tarn. I'm like, this is a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's not okay. But that's okay. There was a contingency.
Oh.
That was built into this whole thing. And that's when Empath reaches over and is like, yeah, okay. I kind of knew this was going to happen. He triggers Havoc and turns him into like a rage monster, basically.
Okay.
And as Havoc's about to attack, Empath reaches over to Sinister and he just goes, Emma says hello. And then they all blow up and we don't know what happens.
Right.
And we have to assume that either everybody's dead, Quanon's daughter might be gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Solid issue. Really great. Super sad that he'll be leaving this book.
Yeah.
Because Zeb Wells has had a great run on
this book is leaving him, I think.
Well, yeah. But I do wonder if I don't know.
Yeah. Who's canceled first?
I think that they were like, you're going to be doing Spider-Man. We were looking for a reason to end this.
Right.
I'm sure the sales are not where they should be, but they should be because this is a good one. Hellions was a lot of fun. It was just fun.
Yeah.
It was fun and snarky and you know, just it's like a Suicide Squad kind of book,
right,
where it's like a team of like misfits.
Yeah.
That you kind of end up rooting for.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So I'm going to enjoy the last few issues of this.
Cool.
Extra.
New Type JB Lee wanted to know, isn't Hickman leaving a bad thing? Because I'm excited for the other writers working on the X books like Al Ewing, Vita Ayala, and Leah Williams. Yeah, it is because he's the architect. He's also trying to downplay his influence on the book now, where he's like, actually, like it's kind of a misnomer to assume that I was like in charge of everything, and it's like you were happy to accept that until you got like a huge grant from some like random internet company. So like, don't pretend.
Well, and it's also that, listen, do I think for a second that he's telling every single writer what to do in those books?
Absolutely
not.
not.
At all. No. But it does.
He wouldn't have gotten a Racco out of it and whatnot.
No, it takes a leader, though, to be able to step up and direct those ideas to make sure that they are able to coalesce with one another without stepping on their creative toes. And that's what he did. And that's what I'm afraid they're going to lose is just the general leadership.
Yes. Now he is staying on Marvel Unlimited to work on a scrolling comic book that'll be impossible to be collected and trade. This is, of course, the Declan Shalvey giant size book that he's working on. I read the first issue, if you can call it that, if you can call it reading or an issue, where Wolverine like just kind of falls for the whole book. It's fine.
Okay.
It's quite fine. But certainly not, it's not a big deal. But it's there. John Ty says, thoughts on Hellions and Marauders ending? Well, there you have it. Apparently Marauders is also ending. I know that you were very disappointed by Hellions and being canceled.
That I hadn't heard.
If it is, that's a real damn shame. And marks pretty much like the conclusion of the Hickman era at this point. I mean, if they're canceling all these books, it means yeah, it's rough.
Substack better be worth it, everybody.
It is for them.
Better be
personally.
Better be the magnum opus of their creativity.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a big deal, and I'm sure it'll be very impressive to the 12 people who read it.
Also, listen, these books, while I would have liked, especially with Hellions, I would have liked Hellions to keep going because I think it's so like. It's involving a character who clearly could have a huge effect on the X universe.
Yeah.
But the characters themselves are outsiders, and so therefore the book feels like it's an outside entity. And so I thought that one might be able to go on. I truly didn't believe most of these books are going to be forever ongoings.
No.
Like, that makes total sense that they're going to start wrapping some of these up and probably starting new ones with new creative teams that have nothing to do with Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah, almost certainly. That are more friends with Jerry Duggan, maybe.
Sure.
But yes. Meal Max also mentions that apparently he got a gig doing volunteer for New York Comic Con this year.
Oh, that's great.
I only mention it because we're going to be at New York Comic Con.
I did that one year.
You did.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you did that during the Secret Invasion era.
Yeah.
I believe, because you have a mask. But we're going to be at New York Comic Con. There's no big announcement yet about like meetups and stuff. I know that it's going to be a very different kind of show. I'm not encouraging people to make trips and travels, but like if you live in the area and you happen to be vaccinated and you have a card and you're ready to go, definitely if you do end up going, hopefully we'll see you there.
Yes.
We will do a meetup, but it won't be in the DC area because DC's not going. Neither is Marvel, neither is the IDW, neither is Boom. So I don't know who's going to be there.
It might just be us.
It might just be us. Us and Benny will be there as well because Benny and I are going to be on an absolute comics panel on Friday at 5:15 at location 406.1. We're going to be learning the ways of comic book YouTube, or rather you will be. The two of us are going to talk about comic book YouTube and YouTube itself and making comics and stuff.
There'll be at least 2 people in that audience.
Yeah. I didn't know that the hosts counted as audience members, but no, you do mean you.
I do mean me.
Yeah, you and Ben.
Well, I didn't know if Ben was going to be going that day.
Ben probably won't.
I knew
go
Danielle
to that
would go.
Yes, we'll have Danielle. So there you have it.
We'll yell. We'll sound like a crowd.
Damn right. Yeah. I should also mention that there will be a panel at Home Comic Con this upcoming Saturday around, I think, 1 p.m. It'll be Joel and I. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite, some of the best Superman costumes.
Oh.
So check that out if you haven't already. I'll check our socials for more information. Devin Wilson says, 3rd time's the charm. I've posted this twice and forgot to add the money. I rarely get to catch you guys live. You guys keep me invested in comics. You're awesome individuals. Well, thank you very much. I'm really embodying the spirit of the individual because I'm all by myself right now. But thank you very much for the support and for catching us. Joey Amorum helping us out with a super sticker. I'm sorry I wasn't able to pull it up, but here it is. So thank you very much, Joey. Really appreciate it. And I'm excited to see that apparently we've got a special guest on the show today. Hello.
Hi. Oh, God, I have to sit, don't I?
Yeah.
Well, look at this.
Hi, everyone.
For the first time in like almost a decade, it's Ben on Off the Rack. I see you're dropping off the candy.
Yes.
The Costco candy?
Yeah.
Nice. That's exciting.
I rode over here and then I looked at my phone and was like,
oh God,
Monday. They're live.
That's fine. That's great. I'm glad that you were able to stop by.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. Well, we're just
what are we talking about?
Well, let's take a look. Right now, I'm going to be talking about Justice League Last Ride from Chip Zdarsky and Mendoza. I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is a miniseries Elseworlds-esque book that takes place in another reality where Martian Manhunter died, and the Justice League's all mad at each other. In this book, Cyborg Superman takes over the Manhunters and attacks the Justice League. The Justice League themselves are trying to transport Lobo to Oa for imprisonment because he's an asshole, and they're done with him.
And they don't think that putting him next to a giant power battery is going to be a problem,
right? Hopefully, at the end of the book, he becomes Parallax. There's a lot of like inside references in this book, and also apparently they're making Darkseid clones. I don't know. It's a fun read while it's happening. I don't know if I can like really recommend this book, but I can promise you it's going to happen on back issues. So stay tuned.
I'll say this much: the art looks very fitting for what you're telling me.
It is, yeah. It feels like an Injustice issue. Like, it feels like a book that's like on the fringe. It is, it's using action figures that you recognize, but it also doesn't necessarily matter.
Look at this haul.
Oh, that's amazing looking. This is a great box. I don't know who. Well, I guess the company that makes this made this, but like that is a solid haul. I love Twizzlers. I love these ropes. Airheads are always amazing, and Haribo gummy bears are, of course, the superior gummy bear. But yeah, although I should mention that actually you weren't too far off about getting that power battery, though. Lobo does not achieve the power of the power battery. Instead, Darkseid does.
Oh, that is a twist.
Yeah, although I think he blows up the power battery instead of like absorbing it, but who knows? We'll see what happens in the next issue.
All right.
So yeah.
And you said that the Justice League is angry at each other?
Yeah, because Jean got killed, and like so Superman and Batman like blame each other, and the rest of the league is kind of like it's like a divorce.
Yeah,
and the kids are kind of like
they're splitting on. They're picking like whose side they're on.
Exactly, but like, it's actually not nearly as like Marvel as all that. Instead, they're just kind of like, boy, I wish Batman and Superman would get over it. Like,
hey, could you two knock it off?
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole book. It's just them being like, and they really do. So it really didn't have to be outside of continuity. Like, there's nothing about this that's like, oh my god.
Yeah, like it wrecks things.
Yeah. No, the only thing that's wrecked.
Jean is dead.
Jean is dead. Yeah, which like, who cares? Like, he might as well be already.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but like, where's the other Martian Manhunter book? Nowhere, I'll tell you.
Where's any Martian Manhunter book?
That's what I'm saying. Well, there have been. DC keeps making Martian Manhunter books, and then like nobody buys them, and they get canceled. There were like at least
fine, we'll kill them.
Yeah. They should just be like the death of Martian Manhunter. Then maybe somebody would give a shit. It's like the Inhumans.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep killing them off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no one's going to care.
Right. And then they can bring him back and it'd be like the triumphant return of Martian Manhunter. See? I know how the money works.
And all of them could feel like they're going crazy because they're hearing voices in their head.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe he didn't even die. Maybe it was only his body died. And maybe we could Kirk and Bones him. Jean dumps himself into one of the Justice Leaguers who doesn't have a book. Or nobody's using right now.
Or split them between Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
And that's why they're fighting.
There we go.
They're each getting different personality splits from Jean.
They're getting two different, I love that. That's it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to tag Tiffany back in.
Yeah, well,
this has been interesting.
Thanks for coming by.
What'd you read?
Hang on. Let me just scroll through this. Chinese food takeout menu.
Oh, that's
the highlights were the Kung Pao chicken, the egg foo young, and of course the boneless spare ribs.
Oh yes, nice.
Yeah.
Now you're making me wish that we were gonna have Chinese food.
Well, on that note,
I'll leave. Thanks for coming over, man.
Thanks for the candy.
Yeah, and thanks for the candy. Bye.
You had no idea that was happening, did you?
No, of course not.
I was like, wait a minute.
How would I?
Are you here now?
Yeah.
You should come in. So I wouldn't got him.
Yay. Denial of the Sinister Chimera joins the pantheon of Marvel characters that physically repulses Tiffany, alongside Red Ghost and Mojo.
Yep. You know what? Like, it's just you don't. He's a disaster because it's like they both have Tarn and Sinister both have gigantic egos, which I assume have to be genetically encoded somewhere because every Sinister clone has that ego.
Yeah.
Right. And Tarn's just better at everything.
Right. He's just better.
He's just better.
He's just better. Man, we got a couple of Hickman apologists and defenders in the chat.
Let's go.
I did not expect to have to explain things that I clearly said in plain English. Someone mentioned that Hickman was downplaying it since the beginning. So actually, it's totally okay and understandable. And also that actually Teenie Howard created Araco because she worked on Excalibur.
It wasn't her.
No.
Oh, you mean like Araco? No. He's
Like,
talking about.
I'm talking about the planet.
I was talking about the
I'm
planet.
talking about Jerry Duggan came up with the idea to make Araco into a
Yes.
planet.
No, that was like something that had come out, and that we had cited that specific instance before as like a strength of a good leader.
Yes.
Hi.
Memento Mori, 3 Earth, 3 Moons. Sounds cool. I'm on board for the ride, whatever Hickman writes. That's what everybody's saying. I know. If you,
I'm just, you know what it is? And like,
yeah, and I can't wait to not scroll to read it. I'm looking forward to reading it as a comic book.
well,
Maybe that'll actually
I
help the
was gonna
comic book
say,
industry
like,
and not himself.
I tend to try books by writers that I know,
Yeah.
but I'm never a ride or die
Right.
by.
No, you're a huge
writer.
Brian K. Vaughan fan, but it happened by accident because you read all these books and then we're like, oh my God.
But like, I don't.
Vaughn
I
wrote
don't
this.
ever believe in my heart that like every single thing that a person writes or creates or whatever is something that I'm going to have the same passion for.
Exactly.
It's just something I'm willing to try,
Mm-hmm.
but may not hit, and it's okay if it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I agree. New Type JBlee, what are your favorite titles of 2021 so far from the big two, from Image and Dark Horse? Boom. I don't have anything from Dark Horse. Obviously, Boom.
Oh yeah, the Me You Love in the Dark.
Yes, I think that's Image actually. So.
Oh yeah, Image. Haha.
Image is Me and Love in the Dark. Boom.
Boom
Want some
is-
future and Something's Killing the
That's
Children.
not new for 2021 though.
No, but it's still happening.
Oh, I thought that had to be new.
Well, he says, what are your favorite titles?
Where
of
did I get
2021?
new? So yes, those. Sorry, I was trying
Mhm.
desperately to do that. The big two, the Nice House on the Lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which should really just be a Image book or a Boom book.
I
but,
know what I like it.
You know,
I don't care where it is.
it is great.
I
Yeah.
just enjoy it so well. And then maybe also Supergirl.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Really like that
Right?
book.
Milkman Jed McKay is on fire this year with Black Cat, Taskmaster, Moon Knight, and The Land Shark should have been on Webtoons. I agree. The Jeff the Land Shark book is weird that it
Mhm.
wasn't. Actually, it's not weird because Marvel Disney doesn't own Webtoons, but they could have put it on Marvel Unlimited
Yeah.
where nobody could have read it.
Yeah.
But yes, I hear what you're saying. I mean, like, listen, I agree with that. That concept of like making. I mean, Marvel is apparently ending their partnership with IDW, so the Marvel Action books.
Right.
You know, all those ancillary Avengers books and Spider-Man and stuff, those are all ending come
Mhm.
December, I believe. So they're clearly like either not happy with the performance of like an all ages Marvel book, or maybe they're probably trying to steer it in a direction that's more digital oriented. That'd be my guess. Like if those books were self-sustaining, I would just dump them onto Marvel Unlimited and just push that towards like the younger demographic.
Right.
But apparently IDW is going to continue their relationship and partnership with Marvel,
Yeah.
which I'm happy to hear because like I like seeing people work
Before we
together.
go back into reviews, I know there's a lot of other super chats in between the one we just read and this one I want to read right now.
Okay,
So I'm going to jump ahead and
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you that we did this.
sure.
This is one from Zeke Rod.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, I got to catch a live show. Can you please send happy thoughts to my wife? She is deep in a rough nursing shift. So I didn't want them to leave
Right.
before we said, thank you so much for everything that you do. Nurses
Yes.
are super important, especially the good ones. I can't imagine.
Yeah, how
I can't imagine being in that role because we've all had experiences with loved ones in a situation where a nurse is needed.
yeah.
And now that nurse, think about how you felt. That nurse is dealing with however many other families that feel just like you feel.
Right?
So thank you so much for being there for everybody, for working super, super long hours, and for keeping it all straight.
Seriously.
Keeping it all straight and being kind.
Thank you
So-
for your support.
I
And
hope
thank you
so
for
good wishes.
for all you do.
Yes.
Memento Mori with a super sticker. Thank you very much, Memento, for that. We really
Mhm.
appreciate it. I'm sorry, the StreamYard has not worked out showing us those graphics in the stream, so you can't see it, but
I
like,
can
we
look at
see it,
it.
and it's great. I like those pairs. I love them. Dan Wesley, I'm actually off for once during a stream. Woo! Thanks for all the fun times. Thank you, Dan, for being here, man,
Welcome.
and hanging with us. Swordfish 97 has an adorable super sticker as well. I presume it's actually it's one of the few that aren't adorable, but it is a finger, but,
Number one.
but not an inappropriate
I
one.
like it.
I dig it. Yeah, it's like a big foam hand at a concert. Dan V, with Hellions ending in December, along with most likely Marauders, will there be a funeral version of Off the Rack when that happens?
No. That was reserved for one time and one time only.
Yes. Somebody asked if Saga's ever coming back, and I wanted to bring that up only because you had some thoughts yesterday, because I read a thing. It was a rumor.
Yeah.
Straight up bleeding cool nonsense, fake ass rumor.
No,
it said that apparently Vaughn and Frina Staples not only have no intention of bringing back Saga, but they don't seem terribly concerned with it either.
So yeah,
and that's a rumor. And
I believe it's a total rumor. It's funny because where it ended now could be an ending. It would be a tragic ending,
rough.
But it could be an ending. I believe the reason they're not jumping into it, because he was probably involved to some degree with Y the Last Man, and B, because this book has meant so much to a lot of people and it is so emotionally charged, and I think they've said that they're about halfway through.
Right.
There's a whole second half to come.
I
right.
Heard that too.
Could you imagine being the creators of something that has such a like loyal and feverish fan base?
Yes.
And then knowing that you had to have an ending that warranted that. And I think it might be a little daunting for them, and it's something that they want to get right.
Yeah.
So it's not something that they want to just throw out there. Everything has to come together, because the first half of a journey is fun. It's getting to know them, knowing that there's a second half to a journey, knowing that the ending will be coming. We'll all be sitting there like,
anticipating the ending.
Yeah. So I think that might be what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Zeke says, thank you. She'll appreciate this. Well, good to hear. Well, thank you very much once again. Let's jump into the book. The book that we're all talking about.
Wait, what about all the other books I read?
I don't know. What did you read?
I read so many other things.
Well, while you're pulling those up,
I'm being like a little hyperbole going, and kind of not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because I read Infinite Frontier number 6 of 6 from Josh Williamson and Zermanico.
Saying that.
Zermanico. It's like Alakazam.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was cool. It had a satisfying ending. It had hope and heart. It felt like a DC comic.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it felt. Huge. It felt like it's like a DC comic from my youth, where it's like it's a big thing that takes place nowhere, that is choked with characters that I would never have recognized as a child. And I do appreciate that, we set up a new status quo. We set up that this is a dark side of the multiverse. He's coalesced into one dark side Omega, or whatever the hell you want to call him. But he's the dark side that had been established years before. But then, Johns and Jim Lee couldn't care less about trying to keep that straight, so they just went ahead and made him a rebooted dark side. Yeah, no, he's prime dark side. But we're setting up a lot of stuff. We're setting up the new Herald of Darkseid, the new status quo for the multiverse, Barry's situation, which is actually really interesting, where we put Barry, and so we'll see where that goes. It's really cool. It wrapped up in a way where this series will never be anyone's favorite trade, but it will be a great stepping stone.
I look forward to you doing this on back issues.
Oh, I don't think we're going to do Infinite Frontier, the miniseries on back issues, because it's just a chapter. It's a footnote.
That's true.
But maybe. I mean, listen, I would love to do it. It's just it'll be one of those things where it's what?
Sorry, I just was this comment. I was like, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Sorry, someone earlier mentioned with Saga that they wish they hadn't turned that last page. I'm like,
yeah. You should have waited another 3 years or however long it's going to take for that book to come out.
No.
But yeah, so what else did you read, Tiffany?
Oh, yes. What else did I read is a fine question to ask me. I just wanted to briefly mention I read Shang Chi.
Yes, you did.
2 weeks ago. It's great. This issue is less of a team up. It has a little more verses, but we're getting more towards the heart of this is the Shang Chi story.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's less about Wolverine and it's more about this guy.
Yeah. So basically Shang has a vision and he thinks his sister is in his old house from when he was growing up.
Okay.
They need to find the last sibling so that the 5 weapons society can be complete.
Yep.
They need her. And so one of his sorcerers looks into his mind and sees the house and he's like, that house ain't where you think it is. It's in the negative zone.
Oh. So they need the Fantastic Four to get there.
Yeah, so he calls them and they're like, "Oh wait, you're working with your dad's group? Yeah, I can't help you.
Right.
I'm also like in space or wherever, so I mean, like, it's not that I won't help you, it's I can't help them. Okay, bye." Think about who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
They just break in.
Yeah.
So they break in, they utilize the machine, and lo and behold, it's not his sister. It's his mom.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and so she's back, and we're going to deal with that. And like,
Cool.
I really, really liked this issue again because now we're just getting more into the Shang Chi story part of it, and less about focusing on the team ups. The team ups will continue. Iron Man is next. Just a great, great book. Having so much fun with it.
Totally. Dan Dragon asked, "Who do you think would make the best Marvel, DC, or other character crossover with the Transformers?" Honestly, there is a if you Google. I believe it's Phil Jimenez and Transformers Justice League crossover. There was going to be a Justice League Transformers crossover. Each member of the league teams up with an Autobot and gets their own Transformer. That would have been really cool. But I think the Power Rangers and the Transformers is a like combination.
Well, yeah, but that's not the question.
That's true. But other character crossover, he said. So I'd say Transformers.
Yeah.
But I think like a Power Rangers Transformers would make people fucking shit themselves. As far as Marvel goes, you can just pick up a copy of Transformers from Marvel and just see that Spider-Man has fought Megatron no fewer than 2 times, and the new Avengers Transformers crossover I think is awful, but you can see them team up. But I would love to have seen the Justice League one, and I think Power Rangers and Transformers makes the most sense.
There you go.
Yeah. Young Goku over 9000, unless you have a pitch for them, says, "Hey, you guys, shameless plug. It's my 30th birthday. I'm eating ice cream." Well, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday!
Great use of birthday excuses. I heard that Bendis might go on Batman. Would you be down for this or no? Well, Bendis wrote my favorite Batman book of the last 10 years, so I say yay. Despite the fact that I haven't really enjoyed most Bendis books from DC since he started, I would love a Batman universe ongoing.
If he could write it as though he were thinking of it like a trade.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Be like, I'm writing for the trade.
Yeah, I'm writing a 12-issue mini for the next 3 years. But like every year, I will write a 12-issue mini. Yeah, I would love the hell out of that. Especially if he can keep people like Darrington or some other like really exciting artists. Like I don't want to see a Batman book that's Dan Mora would be a great fit for Bendis, I think. But yeah, I would read that. Yeah, Bendis tweeted a picture of Michael Keaton Batman saying things change.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That could be him going on Batman. That could also be him leaving DC.
Or that could be him just stirring the pot.
Right, or it could be him screwing people, because who cares?
Yeah.
But happy birthday to you.
How about Vic Bogdanovic?
Oh, man. Well, yeah. I mean, I'd like to see that, too. JB Lee back to say, "It's sad the Champions is being canceled. One of Marvel's best teen books was Zub Ewing. Lore, pity the first wave run, tainted the title." That launched the title, so I don't think it really tainted the title so much as
yes, this is the time that Marvel's like, time to trim the
fat.
books.
Yes. I don't blame them. I get it.
It's that time of
it
the
is a
year.
shame, but it is time to
It's because it's autumn. We're rolling into autumn.
Yeah.
And some of the books must fall from the tree onto the ground.
Yes, and then be swept up and burned.
I was gonna say, and shrivel and decay and decompose and become nutrients for the tree of Marvel.
There you go. Yeah.
I've got one more.
Let's hear it.
Did you? Because you had this. Did you not read this? The Batman, the World Batman Day.
I got it, but I didn't read it. No, how was it?
It was good.
Good.
Okay, so Batman: The World is an original graphic novel.
Yes, this was a free thing.
And they gave you a sample.
Yeah,
they gave you a little sampling. It's got a story by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo, and then it also has stories from creative teams from all over the world.
Yes,
kind of cool.
That's
right?
why I got it. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I'm looking forward to actually picking up this graphic novel. I'd like to check it out. I don't think it's packaged material, but I think it is fun because I always like when they pull together different teams to focus on one character,
right?
Especially when you care about. The Bermejo one is fine. It's Batman and a love letter to Gotham, basically.
Like he wrote one.
It kind of is.
Okay.
Like that.
Like, Gotham, I love you.
Because he says it's like his wife.
Yeah, sure. That's like a Spider-Man book where it's always like, I love New York.
Yeah.
There's always like every 10 years a Spider-Man book.
It's kind of like that. But the reason to read that one is the Azzarello art. Bermejo
Bermejo
art. Sorry. It's stunning. look at this man back.
Bermejo is like just
I
incredible.
wasn't ready into it at that point, but
Sure.
when I turned the page and saw that, they also do something really fun with the pearls.
Yes.
I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That man bat. I seriously had a moment where I was like, how do you become so good that when you're looking at either a blank digital canvas or an actual canvas, like this is where it's going.
Right?
It's just like I this book made me question everything I know about life for a moment. Just the way the art looked for some reason. The other one you're going to get in here is from South Korea. And then you're also going to get one from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
They're both great. The idea is Batman goes to these places.
Yeah.
And so it's like Batman doing something in South Korea. It's Batman doing something in Germany.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, at least those two stories are. I can't say they're all that because I only read those two, so I don't want to say that it's necessarily that. Batman goes to South Korea. He gets a dope
South Korean costume.
Yeah, like a version of the. Like
oh,
the
that's
suit.
fun.
It's like
yeah, that is cool.
Themed.
I like it. That's cool.
He's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He goes tiger, and like the person giving it to him goes, "Welcome to Korea." I'm like, okay, that's fun.
Okay.
The teams are from there, so I'm going to butcher these names, and I'm going to apologize already. Moonin is written by Inpyo Jean.
Okay.
With art by Jakwang Park and Jungi Kim. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna say I'm sorry. 2 different artists, 2 different styles. They utilize the style shift for a really spectacular action sequence that I loved so much. I loved looking at this. I loved like diving into it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It shifts to black and white. There's just something about it that looks really great.
Yeah.
The German book, Better Tomorrow, written by Benjamin von Eckartsberg. Sorry again. And Thomas von Kumant on art, colors, letters, and cover.
Mm-hmm.
I want to point that out because the other team, I think, has like a letter and all that stuff, right? This person did it all on their own, and it has a less comic book look.
Yes.
I liked all the art I saw in this. Obviously, Bermejo's art, different level.
Yeah.
The art from Korea, different feel, still like solid comic book look.
Yeah.
This is something entirely different, and I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Quite a bit. It had like a storybook look to it. So much so that I actually screenshotted this because I just was so enamored with the title page.
Yeah.
So pretty. Fun looking book. I just wanted to put it on your radar if you didn't see it out there. It is an original graphic novel. You can sample the few of the stories right now for free. Just there you go.
Sweet.
If you don't have enough Batman in your life,
right?
You thought to yourself, man, if only there was one more Batman book I could have.
Yeah.
This is the one for you.
Batman the World. Check it out.
Yeah.
Thick Grayson agrees. Lee Bermejo's art was phenomenal.
I mean, like, I don't know if it's because it's a smaller story or what, but like,
had more time.
I
to
was
focus
just
on less.
in awe.
Yeah. Crimson Echidna. Anyone else hearing this as Batman Zawardo? No. But thank you.
Maybe.
New Type JB Lee. It's sad Marvel's ending a lot of their teen books. Yeah, it's weird that they would do that. Like during a period when they're replacing their older people in the movies with young people and making.
Maybe they've got a new initiative coming.
Yeah.
A new teen initiative.
That makes sense.
Maybe they're gonna lean more the DC way to create like the like smaller trades.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because like kids, it's more manga-esque.
I think that's a good idea. Marvel actually did them more. So yeah. Also want to give a quick shout out because I did realize this today that it was apparently Steve Gerber's birthday today, and so it's a big shout out. If you're like Howard the Duck, Man Thing, The Defenders, then you owe a happy birthday to send to, of course, the late Steve Gerber. But great stuff. I read a story from Jerry Conway, who told this amazing story. It was a personal story that he had with Steve Gerber, in which he said they used to meet for coffee in between therapy sessions. And one day Steve was complaining about how he hated living in New York. And so they were having this back and forth where he's like, if you hate it, you should move. And he says, I can't. I'd lose my scripting work with Marvel if I moved, back in the 70s when he was like, working more for Marvel. And he said, well, why do you need that much work from Marvel? And Gerber said, because I need the money. And Conway said, fine. I drank my coffee. New York coffee in the 70s was strong. Stephen hailed a cigarette and said, why do you need so much money? And Gerber said, because it's so expensive to live in New York. And then he looked at me, then he looked at his coffee, and 2 weeks later moved back to LA. So it's just a great little story about Steve Gerber that I really
love
enjoyed.
that. By the way, that was a JoJo's Bizarre Adventures joke.
Oh, reference. Okay.
I'm sorry. That's just whoosh right for us. Sorry about that, Crimson Echidna.
Yes, but thank you. Saif Life, love the BVS hat.
Thank you.
Yes, they sent that to us. We didn't have to pay for that.
No, I also just like this hat.
Also,
and the sweet embroidery kind of patch.
It's always a nice type of hat. I wanted to give a quick shout out because on the
you were in love with this.
When Josh Williamson takes over for Batman, there's going to be this variant cover that is an homage to the 1990 Spider-Man #1 from Todd McFarlane. I don't know whose idea it was to do this, but I've never seen anyone depict Batman doing the McFarlane Spider-Man pose, and I've seen Grunge do it in a Gen 13 cover. I've seen Spawn do it 1,000 times. I've seen Spider-Man in that pose, Ben Reilly, and across the board. I've seen it done a million times, but I've never seen him do it with Batman. And so Victor Bogdanovic, our pal, did that for this cover. And not only did he get to do the Batman pose, but he also did this mock-up. So Batman's title is the old Spider-Man title. Back in the Spider-Man #1, it said all new collector's item. This one,
it's got a question mark.
Is this a collector's item? I don't know. That there's a lot of things to like and point out about this. The first of which is, wow, we get to see Batman in a friggin' Spider-Man pose, and it looks awesome. Second, the rain and coloration of this issue or of this cover is dope AF. Third, putting Batman's name and title in the Spider-Man font just betrays how bad the Batman title has been for over a decade. And the DC Bullet logo's resurrection betrays just how iconic the DC Bullet logo was, is, and always will be. And how, and you can see, maybe not right now how we're showing it, but if you pick this up, you'll see that they played with it. Obviously it's a throwback cover. It's an homage cover. They're showing you, because the DC graphic game is on point right now. The way that they are depicting the issue number and all the information is great. And they're doing a great job. It's very modern.
Yep.
But they also couldn't help themselves and made the DC Bullet logo a more modern feel today in this cover, because they made it translucent. You could see through to the back of the you could see the cover through the logo. It just showed you that the versatility of this logo and how this should be DC's logo. This was when they got it. Stop drilling, you hit oil. That's the logo. Stop it. I don't care how much money you spent on getting that stupid page flip logo, but that was the logo. Not that horrible swoosh that looks like it was made in 2003
well, that's why,
and is cemented in that time.
That's why, even the one that's on there now, you probably like it more because it's a step in the direction towards the Bullet logo, because it's almost just the interior of the Bullet.
It really is. But even then, it's at least modern. The DC logo today. Yeah. It is simple, plain. It has a little bit of a style to it. It works. Yeah. But it's just a font. For me, it's a font. It just says DC. Those are 2 letters.
It's the logo.
The DC logo, the DC Bullet logo is a logo.
No, they're both logos.
Well, I feel like this is just ugh.
Okay.
It's very simple. It's very modern.
Sure. It's a logo. But
the DC Bullet logo is a better logo.
Okay. That's fair. That's a fine thing to say. Also, hello to New Zealand.
Yeah. Thanks for popping in. Trial of Magneto #2 from
let's talk about this.
Yes, from Williams and Wernick. This is Magneto versus the Avengers. It's literally Magneto fighting the Avengers. Yeah. And it's something,
and also his own people.
And his own people, of course. We've seen if we've never seen Magneto fight the Avengers in the main universe, I mean we have, but not like this. This would be this would be really cool if that was the case. Unfortunately, it's not. So I lied to you. I'm sorry, clickbait. But Magneto is being probed mentally by Xavier, which is probably a bad idea because perhaps some part of Magneto might imprint onto him and conjure Onslaught, but I guess he doesn't have to worry about that because he already did.
And Hope.
And Hope is helping him and being a major stick in the mud about it.
That's probably why he has to have someone else there, so the Onslaught doesn't.
Hey, that'd be such a great idea. It'd be so cool if he was always in fear of Onslaught coming back. Yeah. I can't ever probe Eric's mind because Onslaught might show up.
Yeah, that means that he wouldn't need his helmet anymore.
Yeah, but the Avengers come to Krakoa to claim Wanda's body. This was confusing for me because I forgot that the Hellfire Gala did not take place on Krakoa. Because I was they're Krakoa's getting our first guest. I'm what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, no, that was over there on that island, that Namor island, the one that Emma got.
Yes.
But yeah, so the Avengers show up, and people are having an okay time. They're sad, but like everyone's being pretty copacetic. I was very surprised, and they got to go on this tour. Hey, before
they're on the tour for a reason.
Well, they're on a tour. They're on a tour for a number of reasons, but like while they're on this tour, they're concerned because and they all have their little private mental conversations, which I'm sure somebody on the Avengers can listen to. But whatever.
Who? Of the team that they brought, none of them could.
No, but Tony Stark has slept with Emma before, and any of these Avengers probably have psychic blocks.
Yeah, but they're not talking to them, and they're not trying to.
No, but I'm saying like there's some kind of shield tech I'm sure that could pick up like mental transmissions that the Avengers would have.
I seriously doubt that any tech that they have, Krakoa wouldn't have like neutralized as soon as they set foot on the island.
It's very possible.
It's not possible. That is probably what happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't remember that because Stark talks to Emma like they never met before. But they don't.
No, he talks to Emma like he might get lucky later.
They are concerned because they don't want the Avengers to see, because they want to keep the resurrection protocols a secret, and they want them to see.
Yes, and then you might be thinking to yourself, well, why would they take them on a tour? Because they're trying to buy time for the autopsy of Wanda to be completed.
Yes,
and for them to investigate certain things.
Right,
because
exactly.
something's happening to her.
Mm-hmm. So Emma instead projects an image of herself and the Cuckoos, like sunbathing.
Yeah, because they don't know, because like it's Jean and Magic, and they're having a conversation where they're like, "Hope's not here. We can't detour at this point." They're like, "Don't worry, we'll make it work." And they come around the corner. It's just like, ta-da!
Right, and that works like a charm.
I love all of
the Avengers' reactions to it. Yes. Stark is fun. The art for Stark is very like.
Well, I was thinking the page before that.
Oh, okay.
Where they where you can't see what.
Oh no, their faces.
Yes.
Everybody looks like a cartoon character.
Even like Cyclops is like, oh.
Right. Yeah.
Freaking...
Cap, you can see Iron Man's like thrilled.
Yes, Iron Man's like, okay.
I
love Krakoa.
Yeah, this place is amazing.
He's gonna have the T-shirt on over his.
Yeah, I love Krakoa.
Armor. Yep.
But so that's their deception. Meanwhile, the Cerebro helmet was taken.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Rachel is able to create a psychic like recording of what happened, and it turns out Magneto took it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So Magneto took Krakoa because they were like, "Oh no." And then we get the best page of the issue, I think.
Yeah, this was cool, but also this was the point where I remember that there was another part of the story.
Twist. There was a big twist to this book.
Yeah,
where the last page of the last issue, where it was like, oh yeah, that's right, Wanda's not dead,
or we weren't sure what was happening,
or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this page, I thought it was pretty spectacular, at least in a book where the art was fine, but not like breaking new ground or doing anything particularly like exciting. But we get like a kind of mental Wanda's internal monologue, where it's like she's saying a bunch of cryptic shit. Who cares? And Wanda's someplace else, and she died, and all the pieces of herself came back together.
Yeah, but something's like hunting her each time that she's brought back.
Yeah,
into a version of herself.
Yeah. So Hope doesn't like the idea. Is it Hope or is it Jean? It looks like it's Hope. Hope is like really mad at Xavier, so she wakes up Magneto and is like, "You got to go cause the conflict of the issue." And Quicksilver shows up. Cap gives him some inspirational words, and then Magneto attacks, and the X-Men and the Avengers team up to fight Magneto. Magneto's, of course, he's back to his purple and red costume, which is a direct contrast to when he complained at the council and when he was woken up in this issue. So either there's two Magnetos, or Magneto switches costumes for depending on what event he's in.
Right. I
feel like it's the former, that there are two Magnetos, especially because at the end of this issue we see Mystique is involved.
We see her
she's like, no, Inferno on sale soon.
So I think the big question for everybody here is anybody who they say they are?
Right.
Or that we're being shown that they are? Is any of this happening? Is this part of the deep dive into Magneto's psyche?
Right.
To figure out what happened?
Yeah, the whole damn thing could be in his mind. I doubt it. But like, ugh. That was rough.
So yeah, we can talk about the art.
This issue was not very strong in terms of art and lettering. I was like, I have not seen an underlined word for emphasis in a modern comic book since the 90s.
That's true. Yes.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little rough. but it's fine. You know, I think the art's serviceable, and there's a couple moments that are standout good stuff. So I can't say like the art sucks, or I don't really care for it.
I can say that parts of it, I think that the colors, the inks, and the art itself
Are all at war with each other.
They're all fighting one another. They're not helping each other. They're like the characters in this book. They're not helping one another.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Agreed.
I think for sure it really comes down to the inks and the colors are really duking it out for most of this issue. Sometimes they're fine, but other times it's just they're not suited to one another.
No.
At all. That doesn't mean to say any of them are bad on their own. It's just in this combination, it doesn't really work for me.
Yeah. And I'm a little confused about like why, because it's not like this is a massive event, but the fact that you transformed it into an event means that you needed to raise it up to be, you can't just take what used to be X Factor, which is what the rumor is, that like this book was just an X Factor arc, and then the book got canceled. So Marvel's like, this is too big. It should be an event, and also your book's canceled.
Well, I mean,
but like if it is, then like you got to step it up.
Sure. I mean, some people might really dig this art.
I think I dig like some of the art. I think that's the issue.
I think I don't want to just call it the colors, because I think they've worked on other things I didn't have an issue with. But like I said, like there's something about it, and I particularly think it has to do with just the way it's inked. These two don't work with one another.
Yeah.
It's like an event, but it's not an event.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel like
its own title.
Yeah, it's just a story arc. It's just what's happening.
It's something that they broke it out, and I kind of appreciate that they did break it out, because had they left it in X Factor, not everybody was reading X Factor.
No.
But if you put Magneto on the cover and people are interested in Magneto,
yep,
they're probably going to pick this up,
right?
Because it's not tied into something else, and they know that there's only going to be a limited amount of issues of this.
Yeah.
So maybe that makes sense logistically speaking.
Right.
I'm more concerned with what this Wanda is.
Sure.
Was Hope really Hope in that moment?
Right. Yeah, she could have. Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of like, and I think that's deliberate. I think it's supposed to be like, it's a mystery. And I hope that it pays off, as opposed to it feeling hacky and Matlocky.
Yes. I also don't necessarily like the timing of this with what's going on with the conclusion of Way of X.
Yeah.
Because technically Onslaught should be present on this island right now. And don't you think they'd take advantage of this particular
And
instance?
maybe the trial of Magneto will end with Onslaught, which would be hilarious.
I don't know. But
you know, Magneto's never met Onslaught.
Really?
Well, he was Joseph at the time, but even then he wasn't really Joseph. That was a clone. So like, be kind of neat.
All right, that's fair.
But
nobody's asking for that.
I am now.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is fine. It's just kind of like I'm not thrilled, and I don't feel the weight of what this title. Every cover, which so far has just been Magneto being like using his powers, I don't feel it.
I think there's a quiet strength to this book.
Yes,
because of what Wanda represents, not only for Marvel in general, which is like this force of nature that became out of control because they didn't know what she was.
Yeah.
To then transforming her into being a boogeyman, essentially.
Right.
To now having a chance at a rebirth.
Yes. And I think that's the thing is, for me, I'm on the edge of my seat, because Marvel is really, really good at fucking up a retcon. And there isn't a person alive who wants the retcon to happen, who like everyone wants that to, everybody who does want that to happen doesn't want to see it get ruined.
Right.
Like, we all want this to be the fix, because it was really dumb. Like, your Axis retcon sucks. And I get the feeling that this might preserve it. Like, I get the feeling that like they already resurrected her, and that she's not a mutant, or they're going to be making two Scarlet Witches, one who is a mutant, one who isn't a mutant, or like something that isn't what we asked for.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, sometimes it's okay, you know, like to just do it.
And it's funny though, like they won't do this. And this is where I struggle sometimes with some of the like trajectory of the books within X-Men right now, or within like the Hickman era of whatever.
Right.
Soon to be.
Now we'll just call it the Dawn of X.
The Dawn of X, during the Dawn of X. Because you have a character like Sinister there who can literally clone people.
Yeah.
And we're not, it's not like Mystique has had that idea that then to find a way to put her consciousness, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to just supersede.
Yeah, how come they don't just have? How come she doesn't have
I'm sure-
Destiny dump? Have Sinister clone Destiny.
Well, because she needs her mind in there, and so she does need the Cerebro element to it.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they wanted to show that Magneto took that. So maybe he's working with Sinister. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I don't think they're going to do that. They really haven't crossed over with those kind of books and characters. Yeah, I'm enjoying this, but I'm enjoying it only because I figured Wanda at some point was going to have to be dealt with. I don't think it's going to be their magnum opus, especially because they're leaning to Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be, I don't know. This is like a little pre-event.
Yeah.
I was always going to say it was the onslaught to Hero Reborn.
Yeah.
Heroes Reborn, but that's not.
No. I will. You know what it could be? It could be a reaction. It could be because Slott took away Franklin. They're going to put in Wanda where he was going to be.
Oh,
like I need a reality altering character that people like from outside of the X-Men fandom to do this thing at the end or in the middle or towards the end of my thing. And because Slott took Franklin away from me and he was clearly an important part of it and Hickman likes Franklin, the next best thing is we're going to retcon Wanda back in.
Yeah.
Not Pietro, who does show up in this book and he has a fun moment, but but we're going to retcon Wanda back in and she'll be the thing that they took away.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that.
It could be that. It very easily could be.
Yeah.
And it just happened to work out that they did bring up Wanda a lot before that happened.
Oh no, but she was a terrific role. It was actually really interesting how they were playing ball with their own company where they're like, no, okay, Wanda's not a mutant. Right. I wouldn't change that for a minute. We get it. She's a boogeyman instead. She's a pretender. Haha.
If they bring her back, what is Exodus going to do?
Right. What stories will he tell? Well, he could talk about Quicksilver and his boring event that took place after House of M. But yeah. So, I mean, like Trial of Magneto, it's fine. It's just like I'm hoping it gets really interesting. So.
I hope so too. But again, I think because of the fact that we're reaching Inferno, that this isn't. Don't expect this to be the mic drop.
Oh no. Inferno's the big deal. This is just kind of like hey, you know who's not going to be Inferno? The Avengers. So enjoy this.
Yeah, and I'm sure it will have something from this will have to do with what happens in Inferno because a lot of the characters that are in
Mystique will set up in Inferno. Yeah.
Yes, but like a lot of the characters who are involved with this, and obviously, see, I like the Franklin thing, but I also wonder if they use the resurrection protocol on her at all.
Right.
They have no leg to stand on for certain individuals.
That's right. That's right.
And so like this is more like an interesting court case.
You know what the worst is? Yes, it is. You know what the worst of it is? That means they could just make their own Franklin.
Well,
don't they have
only
it?
if Cerebro has a backup.
Of course it does. Because Franklin's been a mutant since day one.
Yeah, they dumped it. No. There's no way they'd dump that.
Why would they do that?
They'd never dump that.
No way.
No.
But you could have a mutant Franklin.
Yeah.
The Franklin War.
Right.
But
the other reason Inferno is on my mind is A, it's coming. B, Hellions was already promised that a character was going to be returning that was mentioned and seen at the beginning of Hellions and had to do with the original Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
So I do just assume that this is going to change some status quo for some characters, but also be a launching point for Inferno.
I think you're right.
Maybe.
Right. So let's jump into some books that are coming out this week that we think you should check out.
Let's do that.
So Tiffany, take it away.
Okay, so X-Men #3 is going to be coming out this week. I really like X-Men.
It's a great
book. The main
book.
Title. It's just a solid book.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you feel about, Hawks, Pox, Docs, Rocks.
Yep.
All of it.
Sucks.
What?
I don't know.
Written by Jerry Duggan with art by Pepe Larraz. It's a gorgeous looking book. It's a fun story.
Yep.
Looking forward to more. Give me more. Moon Knight #3 is coming out by Jed McKay with art by Alessandro Cappuccio. Thank you. I'm going to check it out. I think I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I feel similarly.
I believe I'm enjoying this book.
Yeah, I'm close to not being interested in this book anymore, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm going to check it out. Something about a Hunter's Moon.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. We'll come back to this one.
Okay.
Once in Future #20 is coming out. Kieran Gillen, Dan Mora. What more do you need to know? What more do you need to know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll see myself. Is Ben still here?
No.
X-Men, The Onslaught Revelation #1 will be coming out. So if you are enjoying Way of X, this is the next thing to pick up then, because it's the same story, but in a new package.
Yep.
Go check it out. Oh, it's written by Cy Spurrier with art by somebody, because we closed the tab. With art by Bob Quinn, where I like his photo.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to a Donny Cates book that doesn't get a whole lot of talking about. Baby Teeth #20 is coming out.
And it's the end of the book.
Yeah, for my Baby Teeth fam.
Yeah, you love Baby Teeth.
I really do.
Yeah.
I also am going to mention a random book that I saw that I was like, I have to talk about this. Frontiersman #1 is coming out. I might check this out. The reason I'm mentioning it to you is because the way in which it was pitched, which is that it's a classic Green Arrow style adventure that blends thoughtfulness of concrete and a superhero odyssey for the mature but uncynical reader.
I love it.
I don't know if you
also good pull for concrete.
Yeah.
Remember Concrete, everybody? Remember that Dark Horse character?
I think only from Wizard Magazine.
I only know him from advertisements for Concrete.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if I'm actually going to grab it, but I wanted to give a shout out.
Right.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that The Death of Doctor Strange #1 will be coming out, written by Jed MacKay with art by Lee Garbett. I put an E in there. I gave him extra E's.
You did.
Okay.
Right. We'll see where this goes.
I've
heard rumors, people talking about who will be the next Sorcerer Supreme.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna be like that.
I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
And neither does the readership. Because if they didn't care when they made him irrelevant but not dead and still made Brother Voodoo the Sorcerer Supreme, then they're not going to care now.
I think that at this point, they are so lost what to do with this character that there is a chance they'll just kill him off for a while.
Yeah.
I think they just are so lost with what to do with him.
I think that their heads are so far up their ass with this character that they'll kill him, and when they do events, he'll just be in them anyway.
Possibly.
That's how bad I think Marvel is with this character.
I don't know. And listen, they can make another Sorcerer Supreme. That's fine. I happen to just like Stephen Strange.
But it's not because you're not like, oh, I just love the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme, and I don't care who's doing it.
I mean, I might read it if it depends on who's writing it and how strong the character is.
Right.
If they decide to go that route, I don't even know if they'll actually kill him or if this is just a stunt event. I don't know.
That. Yeah.
I mean, Jed MacKay's writing Moon Knight, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm. He's their new hotness.
I would have preferred a more seasoned Strange writer write this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just me.
But not Mark Waid.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
But not Mark Waid. Sorry, Mark.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to apologize to him. He's fine.
I feel bad. He really had a good time with me. He really enjoyed it.
He seemed to really enjoy it.
I did not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, everyone had a good time except the audience.
Yeah, so
Killing Doctor Strange. Good luck. We'll see how it goes.
I will read it and we'll talk about it next week.
That's right.
That's right.
There we go. My pitch is Nightwing 84 from Tom Taylor and Robbie Rodriguez. This is a great series, obviously.
Yes.
It is a tie-in to Fear State. I couldn't care less about Fear State. I ain't reading Fear State, but I am reading Nightwing, so we'll see where it goes. Ninja Turtles, the last run of #4 is finally coming out.
Oh, that cover, I dig it.
I don't know why, but it's taken forever for this friggin' series to come out. But Tom Waltz, Peter Laird, Ben Bishop, this series has been great. I've really been enjoying it. You should definitely, if you haven't already, you can pick up a copy on your local comic book store stand. Batman the Detective from Tom Taylor and Adam Kubert. Although it says Sandra Hope is doing the art for this one.
I think it's both.
Okay.
Because I see it's like Taylor, Kubert, Hope. You never know with this thing.
No.
Kubert's definitely involved.
Right. I have no idea. But I'm loving this. I really enjoy it. It's just really weird. It's the penultimate issue of this book, by the way. So check that out if you haven't already. I just like this idea, and we're finally catching up with books that I haven't read yet. So Legends of the Dark Knight #5 is coming out from Brandon Thomas and Giannis Milo Giannis. I know their work from other Bat books and such, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do.
I like that cover. It has a real Legends of the Dark Knight feel to it, art style wise.
Yeah.
Logo, less so.
Right? The pitch is Calendar Man's new obsession lies with the Martian calendar. Bless you.
Thanks. There's no mute on this anymore. I couldn't just.
No, that's true. He's committing horrific new crimes to appease the Martian death god and take on his power. Just like, okay,
Sure.
love it.
Why
And
not?
of course, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow #4 is coming out. Halfway done with the series from Tom King and Bilquis Evely. Definitely, if you haven't already started reading this book, it is worth it. The art's, beautiful, and story is great if you like a lot of words.
And I do. I like reading the words.
You do. The words are great, and you like to read them
in this series.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's it. We want to remind you, of course, that New York Comic Con is happening in a few weeks. There will be an Absolute Comics panel. That's a podcast that Benny and I do. And that is to say, Benny, the comic historian, and I will be there Friday at 5:15 p.m. Location is 406.1. Who knows what that means, but I'm sure it'll be in your programs if you happen to go. We'll also be doing a meet and greet at some point, which will be COVID compliant. So we'll figure that out and work that out for you and let you know in the community tab on this and the main YouTube channel. Also, this Saturday, Joel and I are going to be going live on Elseworld Exchange to be talking about some of the best Superman Superman costumes. We're talking about Superman costumes. The best Superman costumes? I don't know. Something about Superman
So
costumes.
I'm not on the show. I don't
Do you want to go? Do you want to do it?
No, I was just.
Then no. It's just me and Joel talking about that.
I was just asking.
That's happening Saturday at 5.
Okay.
No, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So we'll hopefully see you there. So that's what's happening. I think. Oh, and if any of you are going to Baltimore Comic-Con, we'll be at Baltimore Comic-Con.
In theory,
as long as everything works out.
Then we'll be going.
But if you are going, we'll hopefully see you there.
That's right.
So yeah, that's it. We want to thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next time with another episode. If you want to help us out, don't forget to, of course, subscribe and like the video. And we want to give a special shout and thank you to our super chatters who sponsored today's episode. Thank you so much. And if you're looking to help us out and the show's over, go to patreon.com/comicpop and join us there. That's it. Thanks a lot for watching. So long, everybody.
See you on Twitch tomorrow.
Yes, go to twitch.tv/compop. Watch Tiffany play Twitch video games Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Bye.
What are you playing?
We're playing Avengers, but I might play Terminator.
Oh, did you buy it?
No. But I'll probably play Avengers. Avengers!
Yay.
We're playing the Wakanda story.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We dealt with Clow.
Oh, good. Is he pink?
No.
What the hell? They got to make Claw pink. Claw is pink with no nose and a satellite dish on his hand. Hang on, I'll pull him up really quick.
Don't do that. What? That's not how they're spelling it either.
No?
No. It's like Klau. There's a lot of vowels. What?
Yeah, that's Claw.
No.
That's the Claw I wanted to see in the Black Panther movie.
Why? Why would anyone want to see that anywhere?
He looks great.
No, he doesn't.
I love Claw.
Oh my God.
All right. So long, everybody.